Storm of Ragnarok was released on February 8th, 2011. Storm of Ragnarok introduced the next wave of 6 samurai support cards that would propel the deck into Tier 1 contention. Other notable cards from this set include Chaos Hunter, Doppel Warrior, Karakuri Beredo, Forbidden Lance, and one of the most powerful cards ever printed throughout the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Max C. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh!'s past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOOO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Well, that last one was pretty embarrassing, but at least now we can stop pretending that Plant Synchro pre-Tengu Plant was anything playable whatsoever. Welcome to 2011. Now, for the first month of the year, there were no Yu-Gi-Oh! Events, but in February, people came out swinging in a radically different format. For the first time in a long time, people were playing different Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards than normal. Now, a couple of decks from the previous 2010 formats did make the jump. Things like Blackwing and Lightsworn were still extremely playable, but the two dominant forces in the metagame were Gravekeeper, which you saw Cimo play last time, and this, 6 Samurai. 6 Samurai was the deck to beat going into the February 2011 YCS in Dallas, Texas. Konami conducted a series of interviews with top pros to see how they were combating it. John Moore, who appears on this channel, advocated for mind control. Roy St. Clair advocated for Fossil Dynapachycephalo and Gozen Match, a sideboard tech you see to this day. And Jason Holloway said you should consider playing a card that would really define the format for the next couple of years, Max C. More on that card in the next couple of months. For now, we're here to talk about legendary 6 Samurai Shien. This is one of the most individually powerful synchro monsters ever printed. You know this card if you played during this period, or if you played during the first couple of years of Duel Links, where the deck was just as powerful. It's an incredibly strong card that can negate a spell trap once per turn, and of course, he's got a pretty big attack stat as well. He can get over almost anything that the format was throwing at him. 25 is even larger than a Monarch. He was exceptionally easy to summon with things like Kageki and Kagemusha, and as a result, playing this guy over and over again usually meant you were winning. Now, we're playing Nizar Sarhan's first place deck from 2011's Dallas, Texas YCS. Nizar Sarhan is a very strange character in Yu-Gi-Oh!'s history. He was a very, very good duelist, extremely talented. He won both this YCS and a later one with Dino Rabbit, but there were always rumors surrounding him. Maybe he had drawn just a little bit too well. Maybe he was manipulating the cards in some way. And those rumors seemed to be substantiated when he was eventually banned around Dino Rabbit format. It was incorrectly reported on Duelist grounds that he had been marking cards, and that was the reason for his suspension. But in fact, Nizar was banned for something that many people do to this day: money matching. He had gambled an amount of money on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Match, which was against Konami policy and earned him a 2-year suspension. He showed up to the event the next day to appeal the ban and had to be escorted off by police. Konami used to take money matching very, very seriously. Regardless, his deck list is fantastic. This is just about as consistent as decks could get back in the day. 3 ofs all across the board, with 2 ofs only for cards that you don't care if you draw or open. Things like Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. But triple Gateway, triple United, triple Smoke Signal, and triple Solemn Warning are really what made this deck tick, and I can't wait to show off what they're capable of. So let me just run through the cards real quickly. First, we've got Enshi Shien's Chancellor. This card is fantastic, can be special summoned by banishing 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster on the field and destroy that target. A great removal spell, and almost always available, because if you've performed the Synchro Summon, you have the material in grave. 2 Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai, a very, very powerful special summon. Sure, it's only got Cyber Dragon stats, but it's endlessly searchable. Hand of the 6 Samurai does take your normal, but it's also a repeatable removal spell. That's why it is so strong. 3 copies of Kagemusha of the 6 Samurai, a 2-star tuner, and 3 copies of Kaigeki, a 3-star that summons a monster from your hand. One guess as to how they made the 5-star Synchro Shien. We've also got 3 copies of Kizan. This card is a 4-star monster that can be specialed if you have another 6 samurai on your side of the field. It's not only great for setting up really powerful synchro plays outside of Shien, it's also a really good OTK tool. We've got Dark Hole, 3 Gateway of the 6. This is a fantastic card, very hard to play optimally. Each time a 6 samurai monster is normally specialed, you put 2 Bushido counters on this card, and you can remove Bushido counters from anywhere, including United, to activate any of these effects. For 2, you target a 6 sam and it gains 500, good for OTKs. For 4, you can add a 6 sam from your deck or graveyard to your hand. That's the one you'll be using the most. And for 6, you can summon a Shien effect monster from your graveyard. This is not a once per turn. After that, we've got a copy of Giant Trunade, a Monster Reborn, a Mystical Space Typhoon ×2, a Reinforcement of the Army, 3 Shien Smoke Signal, non-hard once per turn searcher, 3 6 Samurai United, which draws you 2 cards, 3 Upstart Goblin, which draws you 1 card, 2 Double-Edged Sword Technique. This was a card that could either facilitate an OTK or make a Shien, and then you wouldn't take any damage. 1 Mirror Force, double Musaki Magatama. This is a very powerful card that allows you to prevent a card that would destroy a monster or card you control while you control a 6 Samurai monster from resolving. So you could potentially negate stuff like Solemn Warning, because this is also a counter trap. We've got 3 of those and 1 Solemn Judgment. In the side, we've got Cypher Soldier for 6 Sam, 3 Cyber Dragon, 2 Puppet Plant for 6 Sam, 1 Ballista of Rampart Smashing. This is a very strange inclusion. Double Nobleman of Crossout, 1 Smashing Ground, double Bottomless Trap Hole, and 1 double Dust Tornado. In the extra, we've got Chimera Tech for Machine Decks. We've got 2 Catastor, 1 Decisive Armor. This is the first time this card saw widespread play. Black Rose Dragon, Brianak, Colossal Fighter, Goyo Guardian, double Shien, 1 Android, 1 Mistworm, 1 Barkion. God, this card was absolutely killer. 1 Scrap Dragon, and 1 Stardust. So, I hope to show you what 6 Samurai is capable of.
Well, you guys, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Welcome to 2011 in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't believe we're already almost 10 years in chronicling Yu-Gi-Oh's history. It's kind of crazy, and so here we are once again. As you can see, we're playing a very similar deck to last time. It's actually like probably 90% similar, but we are now moving on to the first event of 2011, YCS Dallas. Joseph and I are actually going to be recreating the first and second place matchup for the finals of YCS Dallas, and I think this is going to be a very good representation of how that format was. It's 2011, 6 Sam has entered the fray, and now 6 Sam is slated to just dominate the format moving forward. Gravekeeper has just been one of the strongest decks for the past several months, although there haven't been many competitive events at this time. We saw that at the end of like October, November 2010, this was starting to be the case, and so now we're going to see how this deck fares in an environment where it doesn't automatically win if you slam down a Necro Valley. So let's go ahead and do the card by card. We have 2 copies of Assailant, a great card just being able to remove threats on the field, either get in for a ton of damage switching stuff from defense to attack, or if you can actually switch stuff from attack to defense and get over those low defense values, that's where this card comes in handy. 2 of this card still seems a bit weird to me. I feel like 1 might be enough, but we'll see if it comes up. Triple Commandant to search Necro Valley and also a 2100 beater, 2 Descendant, and 3 copies of Recruiter. Our loop is still the same here. If we get both of these onto the field, we're always plussing every single turn because Recruiter just grabs another copy of itself, and Descendant can have a lock on the field. 3 copies of Spy to search either of our other combo pieces, and this deck is opting to main deck a copy of Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper fares fairly well in this format, which is why it makes an appearance, and it's also just a good control tool all around, which is what this deck is ultimately trying to achieve anyway. For the spells, 3 copies of Book of Moon, Darkhold, 2 copies of Gravekeeper Stele, one of the best recovery tools the deck has. It's salvage for Gravekeepers, doesn't get much better than that. 2 copies of MST, 2 Necro Valley. Necro Valley's not particularly good in this matchup because against 6 Sam specifically, they're not doing a ton of graveyard stuff. And so for all intents and purposes, this card essentially just says give all your Gravekeeper monsters 500 attack and defense, which to be fair, if you're giving your Spy up to 2500 defense, that's actually pretty beefy. 3 Potted Duality is just nice to get to any card we need. 3 Royal Tribute, this is like our auto win button, but this card actually really sucks in the late game because if we're both on low resources and we top deck into this, it's not very good. So we may actually side deck this out if we know that we are going second, and we'll have to see how it plays out. 2 Smashing Ground, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, a Mirror Force, a Royal Oppression, Solemn Judgment, Double Warning, and a lone copy of Starlight Road, rounding out the main 40. For the extra deck, It's just 2 Fortress Dragon and 2 Stardust Dragon. If you're playing Gravekeeper, you don't really need your extra deck in the slightest, and so you need Stardust Dragon for the Starlight Road, and you need Fortress Dragon for the Cyber Dragons in the side deck. That's really about it, ladies and gentlemen. For the side, though, we do have a new card, 3 copies of Cypher Soldier. This is formerly known as Kinetic Soldier, for anyone who may remember. I believe this was actually a promo in one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games. One of you guys in the comments can let me know if that's incorrect. This card against 6 Sam is actually just ridiculous. If this card battles a warrior-type monster, during damage calc, this card gains 2,000 attack and defense during that damage calc only. This thing goes up to 3,350 by itself, meaning it can contest almost every single 6 Sam monster that's going to come across. Just an absolute beast of a card against a warrior-focused meta. 2 Cyber Dragon, of course, just because it's good going second, but also with the gadget deck still running around, it's still a nice card to have. We have a copy of Gores. We have 2 copies of Ryo. Ryo's not bad against 6 Sam either because they do a lot of searching. They have stuff like Rhoda. They have Smoke Signal, so this may come in. We'll see. And then for the traps, a Chain Disappearance, 2 copies of Crevice into the Different Dimension for the graveyard decks, a Dimensional Prison, 2 copies of Gozen Match. Each player can only control 1 attribute of monster. This can actually potentially be problematic for 6 Sam because 6 Sam does play a wide variety of different attributes, and so we may bring this in. We'll see. And then another copy of Starlight Road if we really just want to make sure that our cards are protected, because one of the things with Gravekeepers is that if you're not able to keep the monsters on the board, then you're definitely going to start falling behind rather quickly. Guys, I can't wait to see how this one's going to play out. I know Joseph is probably ecstatic to be playing Gravekeepers, and Gateway's at 3. That's scary. So ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Joseph, welcome to 2011. You know, I said at the beginning of my little deck portion, but the more things change, the more things stay the same. So once again, share if you play Gravekeepers, because we are running it back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. I'm also excited for you playing 6 Sam, too. This is going to be hype.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I obviously am not excited to face monkeyflip.png, but I am actually really pumped to play this deck. 6 Sam just is so strong, and it just gets stronger. This isn't even close to the optimal version. Once you get blue and red in the mix, oh man, things are going to get so good so quick.
Not to mention we don't even have Dojo legal yet. Dojo, I believe we looked up, comes out in May of 2011. We are currently in February of 2011, and so I mean, we have Gateway at 3, though, you know, right? That's like all the deck really needs, if we're being completely honest. Gateway just catapulted this deck to playability at tier 1, and we played 6 Sam in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, or rather, I should say, I played 6 Sam in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, and it is not going to be anything like we saw the last time. It's going to be not just one normal summon and hope you can actually establish a second dude. We are going to be doing a lot more this time around.
Yeah, certainly right now, I am really excited to, you know, spend my normal on something like a Kageki summoning a 2-star monster. Once we get to red and blue, I'm playing 5 monsters. You're going to see a completely different one.
Just full board every single time. I'm ready, though, if you are, buddy. This is going to be fun.
Oh, I'm prepared.
All right, let's go and shout the patron. It is Todd, just straight up Todd. Thank you for the support,
Thanks,
Todd. And what are we doing for the randomized method here? You going to hold up some fingers?
Oh, I got some fingers up.
Okay, I'm going to go with even.
Ooh, close. It was odd. 5, the number of stars that you're going to have to be watching out for.
Fair, fair. I figured 6 Sam might have been a bit too obvious, but I figured I would try anyway. You get to go first. Big advantage. Good luck, buddy.
Good luck to you, too.
I hope you enjoy my 4-card extra deck.
Ooh, wow, you are... Oh, I get to draw an extra card. I was like, this is not a good hand. Now it's perfect. Great.
Did you get the Gateway?
I already had the Gateway.
Okay. Sure.
I also have the United.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Do we want to talk about these cards for a moment? Because these are actually just fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I go over it a little bit in the deck profile, but you're going to see it. Like, nothing is going to do it justice more than showing it in a game. Gateway of the 6 is maybe the most broken card ever printed in the history of time. A lot of people speculated that if it ever got a Gateway Searcher, 6 Sam would be playable now, and to this day, it's like an FTK engine for almost anything that tries to draw your whole deck. Gateway gives you 2 Bushido counters whenever a 6 Sam is normal or special summoned, and then you can remove Bushido counters from anywhere to add 6 Samurais from your deck to your hand. Now, did you know that 6 Samurai has a lot of monsters that special summon themselves from your hand? So with one singular Gateway, you can go pretty much infinite. And we may see that right now because my normal is the legendary 6 Samurai Kageki.
This card is just like absolutely everything this deck could have wanted. And we also skipped United, which is Pot of Greed for the deck. But that's really all we have to say.
Imagine, United is not the interesting card. It's Pot of Greed.
And then Kageki is just crazy. You get to special summon a card. So let's see. I imagine there's a Kagemusha in my future. So there he is. Fantastic. Perfect.
Right, so this is 2 6 Samurais. So we're going to put 2 counters on the United. We are going to put 4 counters on the Gateway of the 6.
This is literally the God hand. I don't know how you're losing with this.
Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to remove... I'm going to remove 4 Bushido counters from my field. That's going to be 2 from 6 Samurai United and 2 from Gateway of the 6. We are going to go ahead and get a Grandmaster to hand.
Yes, the boy himself.
All right, because I control a 6 Samurai monster, I can special summon this Grandmaster, the 6 Samurai, from my hand. We'll put 1 counter back on United, which unfortunately has a max counter of 2, and 2 on the Gateway. We are going to Synchro Summon here, sending the Kageki and the Kagemusha to the graveyard, and we are going to summon a legendary 6 Samurai Shien. Here comes the boy.
The boy is here. This card is fucking crazy. Like, this is where Yu-Gi-Oh! Really just starts to take a turn, and, you know, I kind of sad I didn't really get to play during this time to experience this in person, but God, is this card a house.
He's also a 6 Samurai, so I'm going to get 2 more counters on the Gateway and 1 more on the United. All right, just like last time, we're going to take 1 off the United. We're going to take 3 off the Gateway. That's 4 total. We're going to add a Kizan to hand.
We're still not done. There he is.
Once this Kizan is in our hand, we can summon it because we control a 6 Samurai monster with a different name. That's going to put 2 more counters on the Gateway and 1 more on United. From here, we can take 1 off the United and 3 off the Gateway to get another Kizan. And Kizan, hilariously, is not once per turn.
Nope. You can just keep going.
So we are going to do that. Kizan again, 1 more on United, 2 more on Gateway. We'll go for it again. We'll take 3 off the Gateway, 1 off the United to get another Kizan. We will special the Kizan. That is going to be 3 on the Gateway and then 2 on the United. Now that we've done all that, we can trigger the United, sending it to the graveyard to Pot of Greed.
So good. It's so good.
And then we will set 3 cards. Go ahead, Buckaroo.
Anyone's game. Anyone's game.
Could go either way. Could go either way.
All right, do you have anything in the standby phase for me, buddy?
I don't.
Well, you know, at least I don't have to worry about that on top of everything else. Okay, main 1. Don't know how we're doing this, if I'm being honest. It's okay. Let's see. Well, I suppose I will start by firing Gravekeeper's Commandant.
No response to this.
Okay, I will go ahead then, and with my Commandant, grab a copy of Necro Valley. We'll add that to hand.
Now, we spoke a little bit about this. If I was on the deck I was on last week, God, would I love to use the effect of Shien to negate the Necro Valley. As is, I don't give a fuck about that card.
So I'll go ahead and fire the Necro Valley. Is that fine?
That's fine.
You know, when you're playing a deck that really doesn't give a shit about the graveyard, Necro Valley is just, you know, just a little buff, if anything else. Buddy, I think I'm just going to be setting, and I'm going to set 3 cards and throw it over to you.
Wow, that's something. I'll draw for turn. Stand by main.
All good.
All right, we're going to fire off an Upstart Goblin. I drew off the top.
Sure, I'll take the 1,000.
Oh, Christ. This one's a thinker. All right, well, no reason to commit into something like a Torrential Tribute, maybe. Let's just trigger the effect of the Gateway to the 6. I'm going to give my Grandmaster 500 attack, so it sits at a cool 26.
Sure.
I will go to combat, and I will attack your set monster.
And this is where I must think now, because I'm still trying to find any possible way that I'm getting out of this. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll let it go. So it is a Gravekeeper Spy, which I will get to trigger the effect, although the Grandmaster, well, we're not going to be doing any of that. All right, this was fun. Good game.
I drew 5 cards. It could have been any number of counter traps.
Yeah, I figured, you know what, maybe if we get that far, maybe, but yeah, we tried our best.
And that's 6 Sam.
Buddy, what the fuck just happened?
Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. You didn't floodgate me out, you know? I mean, I guess Shien's kind of a floodgate, but it's not as oppressive as a floodgate.
That would have been if I had floodgated you instead of summoning 9 monsters, setting 2 Solemns and a Mirror Force and passing. Oh,
well,
man.
At least I wouldn't have been dead immediately, so that'd make me feel a little bit better. I'll go first. Let's hope for the best. I think this will hopefully be a much different game with me going first, but
yeah, given my opener, I can tell you that it's going to be a little different.
Okay, I am going to start by pitching this Commandant.
Yeah, whatever.
We're going to go for the Necro Valley here, and unfortunately, I don't have Royal Tribute as much as I would like to just completely hose you right now. That is just not going to happen. I am just going to set 4. And I think I'm just going to pass here. Go ahead, buddy.
Stand by?
All good.
All right, we'll go to main. I'll activate Upstart Goblin.
Sure, I'll take the 1,000.
Okay. We'll activate United.
United is fine.
Normal summon Kageki.
Kageki is... I'm just going to warning Kageki.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
I don't even want to get the counter on United, honestly. And you're playing 6-Sam, so I feel like you're pretty limited on what you can do after that. So, okay, we'll draw.
Are you warning the effect of Kageki or the normal summon of Kageki?
Oh, yes. The summon, sir. I'm not letting you get the counter.
Well, if you insist.
All right, we'll go to main phase 1 then. I guess I'll just run out Descendant here.
Just like a guy. That's fine.
I'll hit for 2k.
Yep.
Second main, I will set another card and throw it over.
Standby main.
All good. Okay. All right. I mean, again, you're playing Gravekeeper, so it's like you got time.
Yeah, I have like 15 attempts at this one, I think. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. We are going to activate Dust Tornado targeting the new one.
Sure. It's a Gozen match.
Wow, that's horrifying. Shien's Smoke Signal.
Yeah, this is good. If this deck already wasn't good enough, you also get a Rhoda on top of it. Seems pretty nice.
I am going to grab a Kageki. I will normal the Kageki.
I will warning that Kageki as well.
I was thinking there's no way you opened to warning, right? Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Can we get a monster? Nope. I'll hit for 2k.
One more shot at this. Yep.
And I will set another card. Throw it over, buddy.
I will normal summon, or I'll activate Gateway of the Six.
Christ. Yeah, that's fine.
Normal hand.
Ooh, okay. Hand's pretty cool. So you are able to tribute another 6-Sam and target a monster and destroy it. Hand is fine.
Oh my god, we did it. Oh, thank you.
You did it. No, I don't have another Solemn to stop you here, unfortunately, buddy.
All right, we're going to go for Grandmaster here. Yep, here's where things get bad.
Good. Yeah, they're getting pretty bad pretty quick. Now I have a decision to make. What am I more afraid of at this point is the question. So the resolution of the summon of Grandmaster is fine. Okay. I'm thinking you can get your counters. I'm going to think at the end of the resolution.
In that case, I'm going to use my Ignition Effect priority.
Okay.
And I will trigger the hand here.
Cost is to get rid of the Grandmaster. That is rough.
Yeah.
Okay. I think in response to that... Damn, this can get so out of hand either way.
Yeah, this is like the stupidest part of this deck. 6 Samurai, if you give it an inch, it will take a mile. I think this line was a hand that had no monsters in it. I needed a monster, and the whole thing was unlocked.
Yeah, okay. We'll see if I get punished by this, because I probably will. But I am going to activate MST. I'm going to pop the United.
Interesting. Sure, I have no problem.
So Chain resolves, Descendant dies from the hand. Continue.
I'm going to activate Gateway. We are going to grab Keyzon. Ooh, we do not have to get Keyzon. Oh my god.
Because Keyzon requires you to have 2 6-Sams on the field.
Oh, no, it doesn't. But Grandmaster is not once per turn.
Well, as you add your Grandmaster, I'm going to activate Royal Oppression. Which... This sort of hosed me before that I didn't preemptively flip this, but I was more concerned about something like Shien.
That's very interesting.
Can't stop inherent summons, so gotta do it now.
Ooh, and Grandmaster has a frustrating bit of text on it, which is, if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Okay, so even though I added Grandmaster, if I summon it, you can negate it, and because Grandmaster is not in my possession, I can't trigger its effect to add a 6-Sam back to my hand. Otherwise, I could loop you out with Grandmasters.
Which would be pretty gross if, like, this deck wasn't already good enough,
I mean,
right?
It'd be funny. I'll get in for 16.
I'll just take it.
Thinking about maybe putting you 800 lower. I'm going to set 2 cards, and you are good to go.
Got back row, too. He's got the Grandmaster looming. Oh, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. I will set 1 and throw it to you.
Oh, that was a pretty good draw. Let's go for Shien's Smoke Signal off the top.
Jesus Christ. Really? Of all things. Yeah, that's fine.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. This deck's so consistent,
we'll take Kageki.
too. Yeah, sure.
We'll normal the Kageki and then get 2 counters on Gateway.
Yep.
I kind of want to just go for it. So Kageki's at 17 because I control a 6-Sam with a different name. I will remove, 2 counters off Gateway to give my hand an extra 500.
Yeah.
Combat 17?
Yeah, you're good, buddy. I already admitted defeat, so like we already ruined it anyway.
Fuck! Oh no! Oh, you did. Oh, I did it. It was.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good luck, editor.
Yeah. So for anyone who's watching this, we had a misplay where Joseph searched Keyzon with the smoke signal, but smoke signal's level 3 or lower, and so we were trying to just like redo it so that it looked more natural, and we forgot that I already hit admit defeat anyway. So that'll be fun for the editor to take care of.
This deck has a million ways to get to lethal. I could special the Grandmaster to do 800.
Essentially, yeah, that puts me to 26, and then you need, what, 500 to kill me, which, like, literally every monster in your deck that's normal summonable, except maybe Kagamusha. I mean, God, that was just... I said we do a game 3 to, like... Well, we have to do a game 3 after that, so let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, that went about as I expected it would. Jesus Christ.
You have a good time.
You know what's funny? I think I actually could have maybe gotten one extra attack in off Descendant, but I just like didn't go for it, and that could have made the difference because it was 2,000, but probably not. I don't know. This is just good old Gravekeeper. Well, let's see if we can at least maybe get one game off of you. So I'm gonna opt to go first here, and we'll hope for the best. I think this is a much more favored game for you, like pre-board, because at post-board I get a lot of help.
My board strategy for you is pretty minimal. It's like double up on Nobleman of Crossout and hope that you don't draw an aggro hand, which is something you can play around if nothing else. This is not as powerful as my game 1 hand, but it is much more powerful than my game 2 hand, so good luck to you.
Yeah, I was kind of just hoping to like Royal Tribute Necro value, but that's not going to happen this game. I do have the Necro value,
so we have the worst part of this is? That doesn't even beat me.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
If it's smoke signals in hand, I could just keep them in hand, you tribute, and then I do the combo anyway by searching them.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the spells, because you have so much flexibility and search power, like I can Royal Tribute you, and then next turn you just get all the stuff you need anyway. So I have a T set and a Necro Valley, buddy. Go ahead.
Upstart.
Sure. Got it again?
Gateway.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Normal Kageki. Do you have a response?
Show me the Kagamusha.
Don't have one. I will not be activating the effect. I do have a Keyzon.
That effectively gets you to the Kagamusha.
It gets me to the Kagamusha, but it doesn't really do anything, right? The Kagamusha can't be specialed from my hand.
That's true. You do have to get it off of the Kageki.
Ugh.
Everything else can be special summoned, though.
God, I wish I had one additional freebie. I do not.
The Grandmaster off of the Gateway.
Special Grandmaster. I'm thinking if I want to keep going here. If the set card is Descendant, or is, what's his name?
Recruiter, Spy, which one?
Fortunately, I have no tuners in rotation. All right, we are going to summon another Keyzon here.
Ooh, okay, sure.
How much defense would a...
So Recruiter would be at 2,000 buffed by Necro Valley. Spy would be at 2,500 buffed by Necro Valley.
Okay, I'm going to take 4 off. We're going to go ahead and grab the tuner here.
Make sure you take all of those counters off, sir. Thank you.
We'll just go to combat. Grandmaster into the set card.
It is a Spy.
I could have played
so you're gonna take 4
by like using Gateway to pump him, but if you search another Spy, then you know what am I gonna do?
Bit of an awkward situation that Spy summons to field here, because unless I summon another Spy specifically, like you could theoretically like run me out of Recruiters, which is kind of annoying. Because Keyzon is 21 because you have 2 other 6 Sams, and Recruiter's defense is capped at 2,000. That's frustrating.
Yeah, I figure this line specifically puts you on having to get the second Gravekeeper Spy, which is fine for me.
It's double Keyzon Kageki Grandmaster, right?
Yeah. The Grandmaster's already attacked.
Yeah, he's already attacked. Keyzon 7, or I'm sorry, what's his face is 17, right?
Right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll give it a shot then. I'll bring out the Recruiter. So if you want to run me out.
Yeah, I'll go Kageki into the Recruiter.
So Kageki can't hit over it because he's 2K.
Oh, right. I'll go Keyzon into the Recruiter.
Sure. So trigger, I guess I will add Descendant to hand.
Yeah. Okay, going to second main. Go ahead.
A back row, sure. Anything standby?
Nope.
Main 1. Well, I guess I have to give it a shot. I will run out Descendant.
No response to this.
I'm going to cry, actually, because this is not easy.
You gotta like wipe your whole board to get rid of everything. It's just not pretty.
It's not pretty, no, in the slightest. It's like nothing lines up well here.
Yeah, so if you Descendant just the Spy, you can get one of my monsters off and then eat the Kageki and then Descendant in main phase 2. But then you're leaving me with like a Grandmaster or a Keyzon, and I've got a tuner in hand, which can just be anything.
And I know you have the tuner as well, so it's like that poses an entire new set of problems on top of it.
Right.
Man, these things just just don't line up well. All right, let's go to battle. I'm going to run over Kageki, or at least attempt to.
I'll take 300 here.
Okay. Second main, even if I descend it here, I can't even kill Grandmaster because he has that. Well, I mean, I can kill him, but then you floats. Yeah. So it's like I'd have to kill like Kizan specifically here, which isn't pretty. You could also have Magatama. So if I Descendant, then Magatama just eats my whole board.
Also true.
Which is potentially problematic on top of everything else. That's pretty high risk, actually. I think I'm just going to pass on this. I think that's actually correct. I think I lose to Magatama, like guaranteed almost.
This was a weird draw. Combat. I'll go Grandmaster into Descendant.
So this will be 100 here if I let it go. I think that's probably okay. Now you've got Kagemusha. I'm going to book the Grandmaster.
Sure.
This puts the Kizans down to 18 now because you only control 1 6-Sam.
That's completely fine. I just needed to know what that back row was. Okay, let's see if we can win this one. Kageki effect.
Oh, off the top. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we'll
You're
go
good.
4 here.
Oh, yeah, we're so dead.
I'm actually going to take Gateway off now. We're going to grab... Oh, who cares? Probably a Kagemusha.
I'm like, you need exactly Kaigeki to get to... Because Elder... Yeah, you can't Elder. You need exactly Kaigeki to be able to get to Shien. So, but it looks like you're going for Barkion here instead.
I was thinking of going for Bryo.
Oh, Bryo's an option too. Sure.
This doesn't exactly do what I want. I unfortunately am too far ahead.
Oh, what a terrible problem to have. You're too far ahead.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, okay. Here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Come on back. So we're going to go Kagemusha, Kizan, Kaigeki to the graveyard for
Mistworm. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm going to put all 3 of these cards back in your hand.
Sure.
And then I'm going to double-edged sword technique.
Oh, that was the set. Oh, that's so gross.
Summon back these 2.
This is literally soul charge in this deck. And you get the counters for the gateway, which is even more disgusting.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There he is.
Okay, let's take some counters off here. I don't know. There's just a lot I could get here. Let's go for a Grandmaster.
What an embarrassment of riches on your side of the field. Oh, no, I have too many options over here.
You know what? I don't even think I can get Grandmaster, because if you flip up my other Grandmaster, I'll lose one by game mechanics. I can't have that. I'll just get Kizan, get 2 more counters, and remove all 4 to put the Grandmaster in my hand.
Okay.
So there we are. You know, we got Shien, we got Mistworm, we got double Kizan. And you got one
Anyone's
turn to
game.
figure this out.
Anyone's game. That might be a good start. I will Duality to kick things off.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ooh.
There's the Royal Tribute right on time.
All
Fantastic. None of this helps. What a disaster. There's one card, actually, that would really help me, but I don't think I can get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a Stelle. And we're going to shuffle the rest back. Okay, so now I'm going to try to fire Necro Valley. Got that established. Mistworm, Grandmaster. Now he's got the Grandmaster in hand. Okay, I'm going to attempt to Stelle here.
Targeting Commandant Recruiter?
Correct.
That's fine.
I figured that was going to be the case.
Completely okay with me. No.
I know. You just like don't give a fuck at this point. I will set and I will set. Go ahead.
All right, stand by main.
That's all we're doing. Yep.
I think my monsters are, I have too many of them.
That is the one plus side here of you having 5 monsters on the field.
I'm going to tribute Kizan for Grandmaster.
Yeah, sure.
I'll Gateway to bring Grandmaster to 26.
Okay.
Combat.
All right. It is the spy. Shocker there.
Yep.
Let's grab ourselves... Same issues before, I suppose. Get another spy, which actually does hold up against this board. So I guess let's do that.
Unfortunately, it does. You're good to go.
We'll see. For all the good it'll do me. Main 1. I suppose I need to stem the bleeding a tad. So let's run out Descendant. Don't know what this is really going to accomplish, but we might as well do what we can. Let's go to battle. I'm going to hit the set Grandmaster.
Sure, yeah.
It's a plus. We'll take what we can. Second main, I don't know. I can sack to kill the Mistworm, but then I'm just probably dead. Yeah, whatever. All right, we'll get rid of the Mistworm. I can't kill Shien. Because you can just...
Isn't that so stupid?
Yeah, like, it's not the fact that it negates spells and traps, but in addition to that, if it would be killed, it can just sack off another 6 Sam in its place. So, like, you need to have, like, the perfect card to be able to combat this here. I will cry. I'll set another one and pass. Go ahead.
Standby main.
All good.
Smoke signal.
Perfect.
Kageki.
Yep, we're going to go for Kagemusha number 2 here.
Yes.
Okay. There's Shien. Thinking if I want to do anything, you get a bunch of counters on here.
Yeah.
You still have that. Yeah, I'm just dead. Like, I can warning this, and then you can just, with your, you'll go down to 4 counters on Gateway. You can get another, oh, you're out of Keyzons, actually, but I'm still just, like, dead here. So I guess I'll warning it.
Sure.
So I take, what, 45?
Yep. And then we go 4 Gateway. Do I even have targets left? Let's find out.
You've gone through a lot. Ooh. I mean, you should have a Kagemusha.
We'll just keep them right there.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Okay. Combat.
Sure.
Wow.
So this is 5, and then I take, what is this, 21 twice? So I'm dead anyway. Yep, didn't even matter. Still dead anyway. My hand was just all monsters. So
I was looking for a good time to drop hand, but my board was too full. I didn't have an opportunity.
I had the smashing ground, but I had no way to combo with it. The only opportunity I had was if you would have like negated Stele, but even then you had Mistworm up, and Mistworm actually would have died over the Shien.
That's so funny. Oh,
wow.
What a disaster. What a fucking atrocious.
Well, I mean, this is like, now, if anyone ever wondered why 6 Sam was just like at the top of the game, this is why. I mean, Gateway is just an absurdly broken Yu-Gi-Oh card. I mean, the fact that this card allows you to just constantly just Rota multiple times in a turn, it's not even a once per turn.
Yeah.
It's just maddening. And then you have the consistency of this deck. You only really have like a couple, few card combinations that you really need just to get established. And then the rest of your consistency cards in the spell department just get you there for the most part. Just what an unbelievable powerhouse of a deck. And I mean, this deck just didn't even have a chance. This wasn't even close.
It was not. It has a lot to do with the fact that like Gravekeepers is often a meta call, and like in a meta where people are trying to reborn things from the graveyard, it's very good. And this one doesn't give a shit about it, with the singular exception of double-edged sword technique. Notably, you could have removed Grandmaster on any of those turns and it wouldn't have floated. But at the end of the day, I don't think that really matters.
No, wouldn't have.
What really struck me about this deck is the fact that it is just a modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Like, let me mill it out here, but this is what this deck just looks like it was built 2 weeks ago by someone who like actually knows what they're doing. Not either of us, of course, but it's 3 Shien Smoke Signal, 3 United, 3 Gateway, 3 Keyzon, 3 Kageki, 3 Kagemusha, and then 1 apiece of your search target's hand. I think Enshi is maybe a little bit of a brick, and then 2 copies of Grandmaster because you don't really want 3 in rotation because drawing 2 of them is so bad. After that, even the back row lineup is good. You've got 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Giant Trunade as a 3-of that destroys spell traps. You've got triple Upstart, one of the first decks really using this, triple Warning, and then like as many Judgments as you are allowed to play. It's just catastrophically consistent. And in just doing test hands, I struggled to find a hand that didn't make a game-endingly strong board. Like, the one that I opened game 2 was probably the worst the deck has produced for me yet, and it still won. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah. And this was not only the deck that won the tournament, this was the deck that took 3rd and 4th place at YCS Dallas in 2011 as well. This one Gravekeeper deck was like the lone warrior up there with, I think, what was it, 2 Blackwing and like a Lightsworn and a Monarch
Top
deck.
Had 2 Blackwing in it. Someone knew something that we didn't. I have
apparently
no idea.
Apparently not. And I think at, risk of not having the audience have an aneurysm of me playing Blackwing for the 500th time, I thought we'd play Gravekeeper again and just recreate the finals match. And reading the coverage of the finals match was fascinating because it showed like how much it was either the finals match or the semifinals. I don't recall, because in the semifinals, this deck also played 6 Sam. So it was basically a pretty similar matchup. But at one point, you just really saw how much the side deck helped. The kinetic soldiers just being able to hit over most of, if not all of the cards in the 6 Sam deck, because they're all warrior based, going up to that 3350 attack and being able to withstand as a defensive tank. I think it's like 3800 defense or something like that when it's like being attacked by a warrior Warrior or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then also you have Thunder King Ryo, which can really put a lock on this deck. One of the games that was piloted by this player, he literally just kept Ryo in defense so that it wouldn't die to Mirror Force and just poked away with like an Assailant and a Spirit Reaper. And his opponent had nothing but like Smoke Signal, Rhoda, and like Magatamas. And like that was it. And he had like no way of being able to like get to any of the rest of his cards. It turns Gateway off as well. I think that might have been in his hand. That in addition to stuff like Gozen Match. Gozen Match is pretty good in this deck because there's pretty much almost all different attributes that we're working with here. Sans a few, you know, situational cards. There's, I think, more Earth emphasis than anything. But just Kageki Kizan, right? Like that, or not Kizan. Kageki Kagemusha is a mismatch in attributes. And this deck plays all darks for the most part. Hamadon's an Earth, but you're usually pitching it for Necro Valley all the time anyway. And so just Gozen Match alone is enough to make it so that they're not going to be able to end on that Chien, and you can just play under it quite well. So I would definitely think the sideboarded games look a little bit more in favor for this deck, but I mean, game one, I don't know how anything back during this time is beating this. This just looks unbeatable for the time.
In fact, this duel was not only replicated in finals, it was also replicated in the Dragon duel. And the Gravekeeper player won that one, but they won because of sideboarded cards. Stuff like Mind Crush came in really handy.
Ooh,
there's a little tech at the beginning where they ask pro players, like, what are you playing to beat Gravekeepers? And they're just struggling. They're like, Gozen, I guess. I mean, God, I hope that they don't, like, play Mystical Space Typhoon or draw it or get to go first and make Chien and out everything. But one individual named a card that I think we're going to be seeing a lot of coming up, and that was Max C.
Yes, because this was all of the Storm of Ragnarok cards that we were seeing here. And Max C, believe it or not, as one of the most format warpingly powerful cards of all time. In my opinion, I think it is like just one of like maybe the singular like best card in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Could be.
Was not initially played in the early stages of its release. A lot of people just kind of, you know, tossed it aside because
Blackwing, like it doesn't do anything.
Right. I mean, you may be able to break even on it on them specialing like a Bora or something like that, but I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh was just at a point where you weren't summoning a ton in a single turn, and I think 6-Sam is one of the few. Well, I don't know, right? We've seen Infernity go off and the likes before, but obviously that was pre-Maxi.
Yeah.
I think 6-Sam's like the first deck in a Maxi environment that really would make people think, oh, this could potentially be a way, but then you have to have it that it's actually able to maximize it, right? Because are you going to get enough cards that it's going to be able to deal with Chien, like set 4 and like a whole board that's going to kill you? This isn't modern Yu-Gi-Oh yet, right? You keep comparing this to a modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and I think that's a very fair comparison for that reason. If you don't have a way to crack the board and turn things around, decks played very differently back in the day, and so that's why Max C just wasn't nearly as prominent for that purpose.
I will say that as good as this deck looked, it's getting better. When red and blue come out, the deck has access to infinites. It starts doing some things that are devastatingly unfair. There's some good discussion by Joji Orlando, who topped during this period, I think his first YCS top, about how Billy Brake figured out a way to make an infinite that other people thought was very inconsistent because it was a 3-card setup. He did it with 2. Suddenly that was everywhere. I mean, this deck is going to pretty much ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! For a couple more months. I mean, get excited to see Chien on one player's side of the field because it is not going anywhere.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Joseph won once again, and we will be adorning the shirt of shame. Rightfully so, because I think Chien basically just forced us to put it on at this point. But we have to shout the patrons as always. Big shouts to Shout1317, Moto, Cameron Smith, Chaotic Meatball, Toon 00x3, I got Iron Fang Part 2, Pony Starkey and Musa, Dan the Man Hoban, Synchro Guy, Ole, Mystic Walk, Sylvie Wild, Draconic, Yusuf Asin05, Cole T, Rockslide, Dolly Wop, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Elson, Jordan Coons, Calvin, Iron Bladesman, Pure Ace, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hode, Nehru Celeste, David Liu, Rockley 325, Chat God, Sound Agent 216, Sky Rose, Dylan Hunter, John Two Base, Brody, Eastwood, Days Zero, Elias Pinero, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Give Me Speedroid or Give Me Death, Ashlyn Jensen, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Hots for Gage, Matthew Brady, Dr. Solis, Max, Tom Russell, Gage, Just Play Watts Already, Eric Grems, Wah Yan, and Talk Dirty to Me MBT. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.